what can people do today to separate themselves apart from, the Hormozy captions or the, any sort of content that's just been done over and over again and has lost its effect?
Nobody truly knows 100% how the algorithms work. You need to be using hashtags in all your posts to go viral. Like if you don't, your posts are gonna flop, but that's just not the case. Like, yeah, that may have been the case 10 years ago, but it's a whole new algorithm.
The whole point of giving that stuff away for free is to move the whole industry forward.
If you copy what's worked in the past in like different mediums of creative, chances are it'll probably work. What's up, everyone? Today we have a very special guest. This is Lyndon. Lyndon has done work for people like Joel Kaplan, for Universal Studios, for what are those? The boys called? What are
The Cheeky Boyos?
The Cheeky Boyos. Yeah, and anyone else that you've done stuff for?
Yeah, I've also done work for Nate O'Brien.
Nate O'Brien, yeah, that's the one I was forgetting. But yeah, so Lyndon is super knowledgeable in long form like YouTube videos. Tell us a little bit about how all that started, how you got into YouTube, and how that got you to where you are now.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I just want to say thank you for having me on the pod. You're like the expert of short form content, so like it's super cool being able to talk to you and being able to sit here with you as well. We even have like a client that we share too, so it's definitely cool to just be on this podcast, and I'm excited to talk about content. I started content back right after I graduated high school. Essentially, I got out, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'd always been a consumer of YouTube, but I'd never really made anything on the platform. And I just decided one day, I was like, why not? I started consuming kind of like that whole make money online content. I was like, this seems like something that it's been a consistent throughout my life. And now I think is the one time where I actually have the resources to pursue it. And so that's what I did. I promised myself I would make one video a week for an entire year. And I made 52 videos in 52 weeks. And it didn't really lead to much, but it confirmed the idea that this is what I want to do with my life. And yeah, I'd love to hear about how you got your start in content as well.
Real quick, do you think, because back when you said you made a video a week, I did something similar. I had this series that I had called like Journey to Gym Owner, where I was like doing a daily vlog every single day. And those videos like didn't get more than 20 views each. But in that process, I learned a lot about like posting and making content and being consistent. What do you think is like the most important things that you learned from doing that one a week posting?
Yeah, it was 100% how to make content. Like the first video I ever posted, I'm sure yours was as well. It's just like, it's absolute trash. And then it just gets better. You just iterate, you learn what works, you learn what doesn't work, and you just kind of try to make each video better. Like, you have one video, find something that's wrong with it, change that one thing. And then over time, it just adds up and you can eventually make really good content. And I'm curious, how is that with short form? Because with long form, there's 10 minutes that you have to change. Is it different with shorts?
Short form, I think it's a lot easier because it's a shorter period of time. Like short form, the algorithm works on retention for basically most of the short form platforms. The platforms want you to stay on their app, so they reward you for the longer you can keep a viewer on their app. So like if you post a video that's 1 minute long and someone watches 100% of that video, then the algorithm is going to suggest your video to other people because they recognize that, oh, people stay on the app, they're glued to the screen with this video, so we're going to push it to more people. So that's basically the same with YouTube long form, right? It's the better retention, the more it gets recommended on the algorithm. So it's easier for short form because it's just a smaller amount of time. With YouTube, you have to like think more, and you have to script out a full 10-minute video. With short form, it's just 60 seconds or less.
For sure, but you also have like, since there's less time, you guys have to hit a higher retention.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
On YouTube, it's like 50%.
Totally. So the thing is, with short form, it's gotten so easy to just blow up. Like even pulling out your phone, recording yourself. Like it's so many people got onto like TikTok thinking they could just pull out their phone and make a video, that there became so much supply on the platform, and at a point where you could go viral from just posting a video of you dancing to a sound or some shit. It's because there wasn't a lot of supply. TikTok was just a brand new app. Not a lot of people were scared to post on TikTok, so there was not a lot of supply of creators, but there was a huge demand for the app. So literally you could do anything and blow up on TikTok and back in like 2019, 2020. But now that there's a lot more people making content, you know, they're all adding these Hormozy style captions. They're all doing the same shit. It's a lot harder to blow up nowadays. So you have to be more creative with the way you do short form because there's just so much fucking competition.
For sure. Yeah, I remember I tried out TikTok in 2020 and I made like 4 videos and one got like 200K views.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. It was a bad video.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did that even happen?
Totally. Yeah. It used to be so easy to go viral. And that's why like people like Gary Vee were always harping on people getting on the platform because he understood that there was a there was a supply demand, like huge deficit. And we're not going to see that for a while until like a new platform comes around and there is that huge deficit. But like when there is, you have to take advantage of it. Like Charli D'Amelio was posting, I don't even know how many fucking dances a day, but like just because she posted dances every single day for like a year straight, now her family's like set up, they're millionaires. She has her own show on Hulu, all that, has her own clothing brand. Like so much can happen if you just take advantage of an opportunity and you go out and create when there is a lot of a demand.
100%. So I'm curious, with that said, how have you seen the strategies that you're using to go viral on TikTok? How has that changed? And what can people do today to separate themselves apart from, you know, the Hormozy captions or the, you know, any sort of content that's just been done over and over again and has lost its effect?
Yeah. I kind of want to start that with this. I know that nobody truly knows 100% how the algorithms work. A lot of people are just making educated guesses based off of the data that they have. So like for me, I know a lot of tips and tricks you can do to make videos go viral, but those same tips and tricks might not work 3 years down the line. You have to adapt. So like the people that went viral like years ago when there was very little supply and a bunch of demand, like that shit doesn't work anymore. Like you can't just like post, well you can, but like for a lot of people, you can't just post a dance on TikTok and get like 100 million views. Like there's a lot of new things you have to do and experiment with. So like for me, what I like to do is going on with that, there's a lot of people who like post on Instagram too, and they're like, oh, you need to be using hashtags in all your posts to go viral. Like if you don't, your posts are gonna flop. But that's just not the case. Like, yeah, that may have been the case 10 years ago, but it's a whole new algorithm now, right? Like nobody cares. Like I think you need to always be testing out new styles of content. Otherwise your stuff can get dated. And I think once you find, this is something that I've been struggling with doing, once you find a style of content that works, you have to fucking hammer down on it because the algorithm won't always favor it. Like for me, I had this style of content called unethical ways to make money. And I'm still making videos like that, but there was a point in time where every video I posted that had the unethical ways to make money hook, it would get at least 1 million views. Like I had videos getting like 13 million views. Like they were getting posted everywhere. During that time, I should have tripled, quadrupled down on that style of content because like the algorithm isn't going to favor it forever. And I think that's where a lot of people screw up is like when they're testing and they find their winning style, they don't double down on it. They just, you know, just keep making random stuff. Like once you see a little bit of success, you have to just go into that.
Damn. Yeah, that's so true. It's the exact same on YouTube as well, except on YouTube, I think those trends last a little bit longer, right? So you can milk a certain type of content a bit longer because TikTok, it's like, could be working 1 week and then like the next week is just gone.
Yeah.
Like
what do you see working currently with YouTube?
Yeah, so this is actually really interesting. There are a couple channels blowing up. Overall, most of YouTube has seen a downtrend over the last couple months, which has been like a big thing. And the way that we have pivoted, and this is just, it makes so much sense, but people don't know it, is that you just have to give more free value than anyone else. That's the secret. It's like, it doesn't really matter the style. What we've been doing, specifically with Joel, is just like, is giving away free courses, right? And that's been like a complete game changer because no one has done that. And it's like a new thing. And it's just, people are like so used to people selling them such, you know, like a $997 course or yeah, something like that. Like even about YouTube growth, right? People still sell that stuff. And that's kind of what I'm trying to change as well. I'm starting up a new channel and it's, the whole point is to just give everything that I know about YouTube away to the people who watch.
So, I mean, a lot of people think that like, oh, when you give away everything you know for free, like, aren't you going to have competitors? Like, what would you say to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I kind of disagree. I mean, the whole point of giving that stuff away for free is to move the whole industry forward, correct? And so the people who are at the forefront of that industry can always iterate, and they can always change. They can always change their content into a new style and iterate on what's currently working. Those courses, they are what's working right now, but maybe in a year or two, right? Maybe there's some new strategies that are working. And of course, you update the course, but you always stay on the forefront of that. And by making that free content, by educating people to where you are right now, naturally, you are at the forefront, and you can continue to iterate before everyone else.
Yeah, totally. I had this, actually one of my first clients, it's funny, he was a popular YouTuber. He gave away all the knowledge he knew about selling on Amazon and doing Amazon FBA for free. And he doesn't even have a course. Like the whole reason he blew up to 440,000 subscribers is because he literally recorded everything he did from like A to Z selling on Amazon and just put it on YouTube for free. And like so many people take that same information and sell it for $997, like you said. But since he was able to give it away for free, he's now the biggest like YouTuber in that space. And you can monetize it in so many different ways. Like he could sell a course whenever he wants, but like he can get like $4,000 to $8,000 brand deals each video. He can get the ad revenue. Like he made $400,000 in ad revenue over the past like couple of years, just by giving his stuff away for free.
That's crazy. Yeah. And like I assume he's also monetizing on the back end as well of that, right? Like I don't know if he's doing coaching or anything like that, but there has to be something.
Yeah. He does a little bit, but yeah, he was actually one of my first clients. I did a short form video for him where I kind of went around town with him because he lived locally. He was like my first mentor. His name's Reezy Resells. And basically the story was like we were selling Home Depot patio heaters on Amazon. So we like filled up a huge box truck with patio heaters and we sold them. We drove around for like one full day, spent 17 grand on patio heaters, sold them for 40 grand within the same week. And then we just made like a short on that. And that short got 11 million views. And then I just took that short and I showed it to business owners in my area. And I was like, hey, like this is what I've done for this guy. Let me do your stuff for $2 grand a month.
Wow.
That's how that started.
So how does that work? Because I know like doing that kind of stuff for local business owners, it doesn't have that big of a market, right? Because you're targeting like a certain area.
Yeah.
Is that like, how does that work?
So the way I look at it is it's a lot different than for like a national business, but it still has its benefits. Like, so one of the first clients that did pay me was this gym, and like, yeah, they're only in one locate, like they're only in California. But when you post content, you nurture your clients and your future prospects. Like since the gym is posting this content, their clients or like their members are seeing this stuff every single day. And it's really hard for someone to get angry at the gym. It's really hard for someone to not feel connected to the gym if they see the gym on their feed every single day. Like I forget the term of it, but like the psychology, a parasocial relationship. Like sadly, that's how social media works. Our brains can't tell the difference between hanging out 7 hours with someone in person or watching someone for 7 hours through a screen. Like our brain perceives it the same way. Like I think I'm best friends with all the YouTubers that I watch, just like
yeah, me too.
in my brain, but it's like, that's not, they don't even know who I am, but that's how social media works. So it's like, it helps them get more members because they see them on social media. It helps those members stay for longer. And then it's just like, it's just good for everything. It's good for retention. It's good for acquisition. And it's good for nurturing.
Interesting. So I'm curious how you're changing that up now that you've started like targeting, bigger coaches, bigger like consultants, bigger people in general, bigger influencers.
Yeah, well, so I mean, I still work with some of my first clients. They're kind of like what I like to call legacy clients, where it's like we don't do a lot of work for them. It's kind of just like a plug and play system, just because they're like local guys. But because like now we work with people like Jeremy Miner, Matt Ryder, and obviously like they pay us way more money, and so all of our attention has to go to them instead of these other guys. So we kind of just like we don't bring on any more like small local clients. But I just kind of have them because they're like OGs. So yeah, I just work out, I bring my camera, film some videos for them. So yeah, we just don't bring on any clients under a certain amount of money each month.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, yeah, what you guys are offering, it's like people who are already making a lot of money online, that's like who can get the most value from it, right? Because you're bringing them so much organic traffic, and that's funneling into, their offers. It brings them a ton of revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to know about YouTube is there a common like trend you see amongst your most successful clients? Like who does best on YouTube? What are the traits you see in these people?
That's a really interesting question. I would say the biggest thing that I see from my clients that do well is people who aren't afraid to try something new. Most people, they look at what's working. Like people are right now, everyone is looking at Iman Gadzhi, right? Because he's just blown up. But what people don't realize is when they try to copy that strategy, when they try to do exactly what he does and replicate his setup and his editing, it doesn't work because people can just go watch Iman. It's like
They want something new, right?
100%. And like, so there's tons of ways to do that in your filming style, your editing style. Like right now I'm working with one of my editors and it's like, how can we come up with our own library of animations that no one has ever seen before, right? Use our own branded colors that, no other YouTubers really attach to and make those animations in a way that sticks with the brand, but it makes its own brand. It's essentially building a brand, right? And that's what you guys do as well. That's what this podcast is about. It's building a brand online, and the way to do that is to not copy out somebody else's brand. Like you got to have something. Like if I look at one of your shorts, I think like, oh yeah, that's awesome because you have like that backdrop, you have the certain style of like talking, you have that dark, intense music, and like
the Black Ops 2 Zombies music.
exactly. That's your brand, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure you do that for all your clients as well, and that's what I do too. It's like we build assets for them. We build assets, we build certain talking styles, editing styles, doing pacing, emotion. All of it has to be slightly different than everyone else. And then you just go into what feels like you, honestly, because you don't want to be playing someone else for hundreds of hours of videos.
Yeah. What do you think is more important? Like the storytelling and scripting or the edits and how it's filmed?
That's a good question. I would say it all adds together. At the end of the day, the scripting is for sure. Oh man, that's tough. I think scripting it all compiles into one thing. And I think the 80-20 is more like the idea, the title and the thumbnail more than the scripting and the editing. I think all of that is like the 20, like that's 20% of it. It's still very important. If you want to be in the top 1% of YouTubers, obviously you can't ignore 20%, but for most people, the most important thing, the biggest thing that will move the needle is title, thumbnail, and idea. And so what we do for all of our clients, we literally sit down an hour a week with our entire team of creatives and we just brainstorm as many ideas as we can, and we take from different like sources. So maybe one week we'll take from YouTube. One week we'll look at like comparable niches. Another week we'll look at like completely separate niches. And then maybe we'll go to like the New York Times, look at news articles.
That's really interesting you say that, because something I do for short form content when I try to figure out new styles is I look at news and I look at television. I look at what's being aired on television, because I know that these programs, they're paying millions of dollars to get this shown to the people of America. So it's like, if these like news stations and media companies are paying that much money to show stuff on television, it's got to work because it's tested. So I look at style like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know what fucking Jimmy it is, but they do the on-street interviews where they go on the street and they ask random people. They're probably actors. They ask random people questions, and then those just blow up. Like people love watching that type of stuff. So I tried doing that on TikTok, where I just walk around with a microphone on the street and I ask people questions, and those videos get like hundreds of thousands of views. And it's like, if you copy what's worked in the past in like different mediums of creative, chances are it'll probably work on a new medium.
100%, because those studios have tried and tested those ideas, right?
Yeah.
Like they're doing what works, and then a lot of the time people just haven't looked back on it. And so you could be the first one to do that on TikTok, right?
Totally.
Like the apartment tours that have gone viral.
I think about this a lot too, is because we're not like old, but we're not super young to where we haven't been with the internet our whole life. Like we have grown up with the internet, and we've seen like even memes, for example, and jokes. Like we've probably seen jokes being repeated like hundreds of times, but like the new generation who like gets on social media, they've never seen this joke in their life. So like someone could literally remake like the next fucking Damn Daniel or whatever, and then like all these like young kids won't like, they'll think it's fucking an original idea, and it'll just go viral. Like you can repeat stuff that's like 10 years old and nobody will fucking know.
Bro, that's really smart. I didn't think about that. That's really good.
It's I think about that a lot because I see repeated jokes a lot on TikTok.
Right, and those jokes are already proven to work.
Yeah.
So what are kind of like your plans for the next couple months with your agency? Like what are you trying to start doing?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to work with we're trying to do less. We're trying to bring on less clients and be more selective, because what I've noticed is the clients that perform best, there's like they have certain qualities. Like they're pretty good on camera. Like you said, they're open to try new things. And I think I'm trying to be super selective about who we bring on because we want to provide the best results to them. So we're just trying to bring on less people and then just slowly grow. Because like we had our run, Tony and I, if you guys know this is like the first YouTube video I posted in years. So just quick synopsis. I have a business partner, Tony Lee. We started an agency a while back. We do social media, short form content, and we ran up that business to 100K a month in a couple months. But yeah, I had that whole run and it was just like exhilarating. I got the adrenaline. Now I just kind of want to chill out. Just get really good results for everyone. And
fair enough.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think it's going to go really well. And yeah, I'm sure, people who work with you are going to get great results.
Totally. Same with you, man. But
yeah,
I think we got to wrap this up because we're heading to dinner, right?
Yep.
Right, Tony? Yeah. All right. But yeah, it was great having you on the very first Branding Bootcamp podcast.
I appreciate you for having me.
And we'll have more to come.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.